Good morning. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivare Hari Jana Vallabha Girivare Hari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivare Hari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivare Hari Yasodanandana Raja Janaran Jana Yasodanandana Raja Janaran Jana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivare Hari Yasodanandana Raja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada Nitai Gaur Haribo 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Shri Radhe Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Pavakacharya Sutara Satarshi Srimad. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Pavakacharya Sutara Satarshi Srimad. His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Sridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Mathura Dham ki jai. Mayapur Dham ki jai. Navadvip Dham ki jai. Yamuna Mai ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Shrimati Tulasi Devi ki jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ishwar, can you move this little table closer, please? I have some here, but the little table closer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Does it go a little lower? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are very fortunate. We are continuing with our study of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and we have been in the 10th canto, the chapter 47, the Song of the Bee from our Gita, and we are on verse number 34. Oops. Let me just open it here. Okay. If you remember, Uddhava had come with a message from Krishna for the residents of Vrindavan. He had first spoken with Nanda Baba and Mother Yasoda, and then he had gone to a private place with the gopis. During that time, he had the opportunity to witness the highest prema of Srimati Radharani, as in her madness she was telling the bee that he was a messenger of Krishna. And we read about the different types of prajalpa, the different kinds of madness that were being expressed through different criticisms of Krishna at times. And then finally Srimati Radharani was concerned that Krishna might be displeased with her. So we went through all of that. And then Uddhava himself, he stated how the gopis their prema was the highest, and how they were worshipped throughout the whole world. Everybody was worshiping them. But the gopis, they weren't interested in hearing their own praises. They wanted to hear what Krishna had to say. What was in that message from Krishna? So it's explained that Krishna himself had written the message, but he was in such an emotional state that his handwriting wasn't very clear. And so Uddhava himself chose to read the message to the gopis. So if we go back, just giving us a little recap, when Uddhava first starts giving the message, he's quoting like verses that we read in Bhagavad Gita. Every living entity is part and parcel of the Lord, how they're never separated from him, how Krishna is present within everything and everywhere. And he gives the different examples of different types of methods of self-realization, like Sankhya, yoga, mysticism. All these things that we find in the Bhagavad Gita. But then it does say in the Bhagavad Gita that the highest is to come to the platform of surrender to Krishna. So here we see the gopis, they're already thinking of Krishna all the time. They're already remembering Krishna all the time. But we'll find out today, when we read these commentaries, that there is a secret behind Krishna disappearing. Not only for the gopis, but for himself. So we'll start now. That was just a little recap. Because we read a little bit every day, and then we comment, so it's easy to forget, okay, where are we? How did we get here? So here we are, Srimad Bhagavatam 10:47-34, where Krishna will explain, why did I disappear? But I'm not really away, because although you don't see me, I'm always with you. Yat 12 aham bhavatinam vai yat 12 aham bhavatinam vai bhavatinam vai dure varte priyo drisham dure varte priyo drisham manasaha sani karsharatam manasaha sani karshayatam mad anudayana kamyaya maranudayana kamayaya yatva baham bhavatinam vai yatva mahabhavitam vai dure bharte priyo drisham dure bharte priyo drisham manasa sani karyashayatam ansanasani karyashitatam maranudayana kamaya maranudayana kamaya. Devotees, yatamaham bhavatinam vai dure bharte priyo drisham manasasani kayashitayam maranudayana kamaya. Yat, the fact that. 2, however, aham, I, bhavatinam, from your, vai, indeed, dure, far away, varte, am situated, priyaha, who am dear, drisham, to the eyes, manasaha, of the mind, sanikarsha, of the attraction, artam, for the sake, mat, upon me, anudhyana, for your meditation, kamayaya, out of my desire. Translation by the disciples of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. But the actual reason why I, the beloved object of your sight, have stayed far away from you is that I wanted to intensify your meditation upon me and thus draw your minds closer to me. You can repeat. This is Krishna himself speaking. But the actual reason why I, the beloved object of your sight, have stayed far away from you It said, I wanted to intensify your meditation upon me and thus draw your minds closer to me. Purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Sometimes that which is close to our eyes is far from our heart and mind. And conversely, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Although apparently going far away from the gopis, Lord Krishna was bringing them closer to him on the spiritual platform. So before reading the commentaries, we'll just comment a little bit on this verse. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Shrimati Hridayananda Goswami Iti Namane. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashitashatarine. Om Gana Timadandasya Gana Gana Shalakaya Chaksu Militanyana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So I offer my respectful obeisances unto my Shiksha Guru, unto my Diksha Guru, unto Srila Prabhupada, and unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. So here, it's a familiar saying that we sometimes hear, absence makes the heart grow fonder. In our own experience, we could see that sometimes when something is in front of our eyes, we don't think about it as much. We might even take it for granted. But then when it's taken away from us, our heart hankers more and more. And this actually brings it back to, here Krishna is saying, I want to bring you closer on the spiritual platform. This actually also is applicable in relationship to the guru, one's spiritual master. Because it's also understood that sometimes when one is in the direct contact of one's spiritual master or pure devotee, that they can easily take it for granted or see the spiritual master as an ordinary person when he's actually Sakshat Hari, he's a representative of Krishna. So sometimes when the spiritual master is traveling or when he leaves a planet especially, then the intensity of the separation grows very deeply, but that intensity of separation will bring one closer on the spiritual platform. So here we might be thinking, Krishna is saying, all right, when you were before me, you were within my eyes, but you weren't, I wasn't in your mind the same way. But we understand that this is not true for the gopis. Krishna is speaking for his own issues, so to speak. Because the gopis are always thinking of Krishna, if Krishna is in front of them or not in front of them. But it also shows us that this level of prema, this level of love, is not something that is stagnant, but it's always growing. The gopis' love for Krishna is always growing, and Krishna's love for the gopis is always growing. So Krishna has disappeared, and the intensity of the prema of the gopis has reached a level that's very high. And then we might think, well, how is this considered happiness? But then we have to understand things philosophically. The gopis, they're engaged in pure devotional service. And in Nectar of Devotion, it says that pure devotional service is something that is very difficult to attain. The gopis are very unique in what they have attained. And it also says that pure devotional service, even in the beginning stage, frees one from all suffering, from all miseries, that it's all auspiciousness, that it brings all joy and all pleasure. So if the gopis are practicing pure devotional service, then what they're experiencing is not misery, but it is the highest pleasure. And Krishna is trying to increase that by this separation. So we'll continue. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who always likes to represent what's going on, the internal. There's the external conversation that's being said, and then the unspoken. So Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says, "O Uddhava, by this news you have doubled our pain. What can we say about messengers who are ignorant of time, place, and person?" So they're saying, this might be a nice message to give to some jnanis or yogis, but we're always thinking of Krishna. Your words are just creating more pain. And we've all had that in our life. Like sometimes someone's going through a difficult time and we think we're going to say the right thing and we say the exact wrong thing. We cause more suffering and more pain. What can we say about you who have no sense of discretion? So first they were yelling at the bumblebee. Now they're going to yell at Uddhava. You have brought this burden of Brahmajnana this far, but who will buy it in Braj? We're not interested in Vrindavan about these other processes of realization. You've come to the wrong place to sell your Brahman and your Sankhya. Can the gopis who from birth have been drinking the nectar of Krishna's beauty now drink the bitter juice of Brahman Gyan? In time of great famine, better that the women give up their lives in starvation than eat grass. So they're very much chastising him. Hear this great fool. This Brahmagyan is certainly medicine for the sickness of material existence lying in the heart of great saintly physicians. But can it be the cure for the great sickness of Krishna Prem? Did those doctors ever research this disease? Learning the scriptures and diagnosis and cure from Sandipani Muni, Krishna has taught you and sent the medicine to relieve the fever of Prem. You can now be our messenger. Take this medicine and go back to its sender. Drinking it, he will extinguish his fever of Prem for us. Make him drink it so that no trace of fever remains. But may our fever from Prem remain for 100 births. So the gopis are just sending a chastising message to Krishna. And we're not going to give up our Prem. And here also, it's also being shown to us that all these different methods are meant for us. Like we need to control our mind. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, what you think of at the time of death will affect your destiny. And what you think of throughout your life will affect what you think of at the time of death. So for the conditioned soul who's struggling within the material existence, there are so many different injunctions. And ultimately, Prabhupada said, though, that in this day and age, to chant Hare Krishna and follow in the mood of the gopis in the sense that we always think and hear about Krishna. Okay. We will not touch that medicine. Is it possible for torrents of water that extinguish the fire to extinguish the fire of the lightning bolt? If we find within his message something a little favorable to us, is that his intention or is it just an accident? We have no faith in him. So they're just like, how can you tell this to us? We're always absorbed in Krishna. Now you're giving us some method that's given for those that are in this conditioned world. When the gopis began to speak in this angry mood, Uddhava spoke to them. Oh, ladies, just hear a moment with attention. As well as Brahmajnana, I've also brought some other message. After speaking this, he then began to offer them Krishna's words as they listened eagerly with faith. So after they got their anger out and they cooled down a little bit, then Krishna's like, Uddhava was like, but I have another message for you, a beautiful message for you. The general meaning of the message is as follows. Though dear to your eyes, I am now far from them. The reason for this is that I desire that you continually meditate on me. By that meditation, your minds will get closer to me. Therefore now I am very close to your minds. So he's saying, though dear to your eyes, I am now far from them. The reason for this is that I desire that you continually meditate on me. By that meditation, your minds get closer to me. Therefore now I am very close to your minds. So he's saying, when I'm not in front of you and you close your eyes and you meditate on me, then I'm completely permeating every single part of your consciousness. Another meaning for the gopis is as follows. Though you are dear to my eyes, you are now situated far away from my eyes, but you are near my mind. From this it should be understood that if one is without eyesight, then one is far from that person's mind. If one is within eyesight, then one is far from the person's mind. And if one is close to someone's mind, one is far from their sight. Since between the two, the mind is more important, I desire that you remain close in my mind. Maybe that be your desire also. So Krishna is saying, when you're right in front of me, I'm not thinking of you, because you're right there. I'm seeing you with my eyes. But when I don't see you, then it's even stronger, and the mind is even stronger. So this actually, all of this conversation now is actually a hint that is actually leading to what will be the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will actually come in order to understand this mood of separation. How he will come in order to try to understand what is this love that Srimati Radharani feels for me. Because the gopis are just focused on Krishna. They're not focused on anything else, and Radharani is focused even more on Krishna than any of the other gopis. But Krishna had other things he had to think about. He had to think about taking the cows out. He had to think about his relatives. Then he had to think about going and saving the planet, killing the demons. He had so many different things that he had to always be thinking about, where the gopis were just one-pointed. Whatever household duties they did, they just did them automatically, but their focus was always on Krishna, Krishna's pleasure. Jiva Goswami says, there is no separation in a prakrita manifestation. That's when the prakrita is a manifestation that we don't see. That's always going on, like right now in Vrindavan. All the pastimes are going on, we just don't see it. Even the prakrita manifestation, the separation is only external. For the spurti becomes a direct meaning. Understand that this separation arises because of my natural sense of whimsy. This is Krishna speaking. That whimsy is described in 2 verses. The word two indicates a different topic. Krishna had gone to Mathura on the request to kill Kamsa. Though it is proper that I come, even though I have duties in Mathura, I've remained far from your eyes. This does not happen to you in apakata pastimes. I am there only, but I am not happy remaining there. I do this with a desire to meditate on you. It is well known that they meditated on him from previous times. So he's saying in the unmanifest, we're never separated. We're never separated. But I arranged that we're separated so that I can meditate upon you, that I can feel this intensity of the mood of separation. The young gopis took the greatest pleasure in seeing Govinda, since for them even a moment without his association seemed like 100 ages. Srimad Bhagavad 10, 19, 16. Accordingly, I should do so similarly and meditate on you. Later the gopis will say, Dear Lord, whose navel is just like a lotus flower, your lotus feet are the only shelter for those who have fallen into the deep well of material existence. Your feet are worshipped and meditated upon by great mystic yogis and highly learned philosophers. We wish that these lotus feet may be awakened within our hearts, although we are only ordinary persons engaged in household affairs. He desired to think of them in the same way. He desired to meditate on them in order to bring his mind close to them. He wanted to feel qualified to be close to them. Without that, he would always feel ashamed. So Krishna was always saying, thinking, they left everything. They left husband, family, reputation. They ran out into the middle of the night to be with me. They gave up everything. And their love, their prema is so intense. but I cannot experience that. So he creates this separation to be able to fix his mind in that way. And as I said previously, this is actually foretelling of the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who will be absorbed in that mood of separation, which is the mood Srila Prabhupada explained to us that was given to us by our previous acharyas and the Goswamis. He says that the Goswamis of Vrindavan, when we read this song, they're not saying, I've seen Krishna, but they're running throughout Vrindavan. Where is Krishna? Where is Lalita? That's their mood, the mood of separation. I'm not able to repay my debt for your spotless service. I'm not reading the Sanskrit because of the time. Even within a lifetime of Brahma, your connection with me is beyond reproach. You have worshipped me, cutting off all domestic ties, which are difficult to break. Therefore, please let your own glorious deeds be your compensation. That was 10:32:22. Then Krishna is saying again, by worshiping you in this way, I will become qualified. For this reason, I tolerate my suffering and separation from you. The sages say, Sambhoga, which is union, is not strong without Vipralamba, which is separation. It increases the strength, just as cloth increase in beauty by repeatedly dyeing with red color. This is in the Ujjvala Nilamani 15.3. And then Satanatana Goswami says, do not cheat us. We want to see you directly. Why do you delay so long? 2 verses answer. The word two indicates a different topic. Since he's dear Priya, he should not stay far away. Yet I remain far away, dure varte, from your eyes. But I am present to your senses. I desire to meditate on you always in order to bring my mind near you. The meaning is this, you giving up everything. Concentrate your minds on me, but I do not know the same extent. Thus in great shame I remain in Mathura in order to attain closeness with you always in my mind. So previously we were reading about the importance of controlling the mind, and we know in our own existence how important it is to be able to control our mind, to be able to control our senses in order to be able to focus on Krishna, which is the ultimate goal. But here we're hearing about how Krishna himself is wanting to experience that devotion, experience that focus on the lotus feet of the Lord. So that's so very, very beautiful. So I wanted to read a little bit from the, from the Krishna book. Because in the Krishna book, we can actually understand a little more. But Prabhupada so nicely explains things. Thank you. So this is from Krishna book. Three paths are enunciated in the Bhagavad Gita: Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. Those who are too much addicted to fruitive activities are advised to perform actions which will bring them to bhakti. Those who are addicted to the pursuit of empiric philosophy are also advised to act in such a way that they will realize bhakti. Karma yoga is therefore different from ordinary karma, and Jnana yoga is different from ordinary jnana. Ultimately, as is stated by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita, Bhakti Mam Abhijanti, only through execution of devotional service can one understand Krishna. The perfectional stage of devotional service was achieved by the gopis because they did not care to know anything but Krishna. It is confirmed in the Vedas, Kasmin Bhagavato Vijnanate Sarvamidam Vignati Bhavati. This means that simply by knowing Krishna, it automatically acquires all other knowledge. So Prabhupada is saying, if you know Krishna, you know everything. Uddhava continued reading Krishna's message. Transcendental knowledge of the Absolute is no longer necessary for you. So they don't need to know, like, all this different philosophy. You were accustomed to loving me from the very beginning of your lives. Knowledge of the Absolute Truth is specifically required for persons who want liberation from material existence. But one who has attained love of Krishna is already on the platform of liberation. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, anyone engaged in unalloyed devotional service is considered situated on the platform of liberation. The gopis did not actually feel any pangs of material existence, but they felt the separation of Krishna. Krishna therefore said, "My dear gopis, to increase your super excellent love for me, I have purposely separated myself from you so that you may be in constant meditation on me." And here we just read actually how the real secret is that Krishna wanted to be in meditation on the gopis as the gopis were on him. The gopis are in the perfectional stage of meditation. Yogis are generally more fond of meditating than of executing devotional service to the Lord, but they do not know the perfection of the yoga system is the attainment of devotion. The constant meditation on Krishna by the gopis is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita to be the topmost yoga. Krishna knew very well the psychology of women. When a woman's beloved is away, she thinks of him more in meditation when he is present before her. Krishna wanted to teach through the behavior of the gopis that one who is constantly entranced like the gopis surely attains his lotus feet. So Krishna is giving a lesson to all of us. Lord Chaitanya taught people in general the method of Vipralamba Seva, which is a method of rendering service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the feeling of separation. The 6 Goswamis also taught worship of Krishna in the feeling of the gopis in separation. The prayers composed by Srinivasacharya about the Goswamis explain these matters very clearly. Srinivasacharya said that the Goswamis were always absorbed in the ocean of transcendental feelings in the mood of the gopis. When they lived in Vrindavan, they were searching for Krishna, crying, "Where are you, Krishna? Oh, gopis, where are you? Where are you, Shrimati Radharani?" They never said, "We have now seen Radha and Krishna, and therefore our mission is fulfilled." Their mission remained always unfulfilled. They never met Radha and Krishna. So these Goswamis, we understand that in Krishna Lila, they're manjaris. They're always serving Shrimati Radharani. They're always part of the pastime with the divine couple. But when they come into this world, they're setting that example for us of the importance of this mood of separation and the mood of serving in separation. Krishna reminded the gopis that at the time of the rasa dance, those gopis who could not join him for the rasa lila gave up their bodies simply by thinking of him. Absorption in Krishna consciousness by feeling separation is thus the quickest method for attainment of the lotus feet of Krishna. By the personal statement of Krishna, the gopis were convinced about the strength of feelings of separation. They were actually experiencing the supernatural method of Krishna worship and were much relieved by understanding that Krishna was not far away from them, but always with them. The gopis therefore received Uddhava very happily and began to speak to him as follows. So then they start speaking to him in a very friendly mood. So this is such really important instruction for us, the importance of fixing our mind upon Krishna. And we're told by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that in this day and age it's Cheto Darbana Marjanam, that by chanting the holy name, the unwanted, the anarthas within the heart become purified. In the time of Dwapara Yuga, when Krishna was present on the planet, there were the devotees and the demons. But it's explained that in Kali Yuga, both the demons and the devotees are both within one body. So Krishna always explains that our mind can be either our best friend or our worst enemy. So Srila Prabhupada gave us a process of being able to fix our mind on the lotus feet of Krishna through the chanting of holy name and through reading about Krishna, discussing about Krishna through Krishna Katha. Because we see when Uddhava first came and he started speaking about Krishna's pastimes, the gopis again became very absorbed. So that also is an example for us, like what do we spend our time speaking about? What are we focusing on? And what are those things that will elevate our consciousness and purify our consciousness? So Prabhupada always explained, like it can be like nectar in the beginning and poison at the end. So the mind can think, I don't want to hear about Krishna. I want to, do something fun, or I want to read the newspaper, well, now it's not the newspaper anymore, it's the computer. But Prabhupada would give that example. It takes training, actually, in the conditioned state to again turn towards hearing about Krishna. But because Krishna is so attractive, when one makes a little step towards Krishna, Krishna will reciprocate in so many ways. So it is actually our responsibility to help each other to be Krishna conscious, to remind each other about what is pure devotional service, to remind each other about Krishna's pastimes. And Krishna comes in this world, he enacts so many different pastimes. And if we meditate in that way, we meditate on our service, then our mind is controlled. Just like I knew I was giving class today. So when I woke up this morning, I was thinking about the verse and thinking about Krishna. And not that I know Krishna, but just thinking about how Krishna's words, speak to us on many, many different levels. So we are eternal, and our eternal position is meant to engage in loving devotional service. So at any moment, we can see it as a rare moment that we're given to be able to turn our face back to Krishna and to absorb ourselves in hearing about him. And as I said previously, this verse is so special because, as the commentators say, it was like Krishna himself wanting to experience that high level of prema. And the gopis, their love just gets deeper and deeper. And they also are able to meditate on Krishna within their heart. So thank you very much. Does anyone have any comment on this verse? Dayaveer? Yeah. Dayaveer was saying how important it is for us to encourage each other to be Krishna conscious, because if we're negative with each other, that hinders one's Krishna consciousness. So the more we encourage others in their devotional life, the more we will feel encouraged within our own being, within our own heart. And the more we will please Krishna, please our spiritual master. So we're so fortunate that we have this Bhagavatam and that we're able to focus on these very verses. Sometimes people will say, this is above my pay grade, I can't speak on this. So, but then we have to realize I'm not speaking. I'm not speaking. I'm just trying to do the service that's been given to me. So all glory to Srila Prabhupada, glory to Sri Radha Golokananda. Thank you. Thank you, devotees, for coming. First, I thought I was going to be here all alone.
Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvanta Maravindanalaya Taksham Varhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Agom Vidamaniya Nishesha Shobham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Vasyanti Panti Kayanti Tiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami 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 Govindam Adi Purusham
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Nami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sanyavadi Paschatcha Desatarine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sanyavadi Paschatcha Desatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhaktarinda Shri Krishna Bhaktarinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhaktarinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhaktarinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhaktarinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhaktarinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhaktarinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhaktarinda Jaya Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Radhe. Radha Jaya Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Radhe. Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo. Jaya Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Bhagavacharya Satarya Satashishi Mada's Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Gauda Vaishnavinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Siko Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Tulsi Devi Ki, Bhakti Devi Ki, Shri Radha Golokananda Ki, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki, Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the Guru.
Sri Shisha Shastika. Cheto Darpanam Marjanam Baba Mahadabagni Nirvapanam Shraya Chaiva Chandrika Vitaranam Vijabadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Patipadam Purnamastavanam Sarvapmasanapam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktish Jata Pitana Yamata Smaranena Kala Etardishita Vakripa Bhagavama Mapi Durdaivam idrisham ihajani nanugraha. Chanadapi sunichena tarodapi sahishuna. Amani dhammadanena kirtanaya sada hari. Nadanam najanam nasundarim kavitam vajagadishakamaye. Mama janmani janmani nishware. Bhagavatam bhakti rakuti tvayi. Ayinanda tanuja kinkaram. Patitamam vishame bababado. Kripaya tavapara pankaja. Stiti duli sadarshana vichantaya. Nayanam galara shudaraya. Varanam gargadarudaya gira. Pulake nichitam vapukada. Tavanama grahane bhavishite. Yugayatam nimeshena. Chakshusha vishayatam. Shanyayatam jagad sarvam. Govindam virahena me. Ashlishya padavritam panastumam. Adarshanam mamahatam kurotuva. Yatatata vidato lampato. Ma prananastu sa eva napara. Sri Krishna's Sankirtan, which cleanses our heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is a life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. Transcendental names you have invested all your transcendental energies, and not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw on the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna,